So if you're a small business owner, does this sound familiar? You feel like you're constantly juggling, just reacting to things, trying to keep your head above water. Well, today we're going to break down a system designed to cut right through that chaos. It's all about finding clarity and building a business that creates real, repeatable success. Let's dive in.
Think about it. You probably started your business with this big vision, right? But now your days are just spent putting out one fire after another. You feel like you're wandering, just reacting to whatever blows up instead of actually building toward your goal. It's a super common trap, but let's be real. It's no way to grow a business.
So let's ask the tough question head on. Are you just guessing? Are your big decisions based on a clear, solid plan? Or are they just frantic reactions to the crisis of the day? That feeling of not having a clear path, well, that's where so much of the stress comes from. It's time to stop guessing and start building with some real intention. And this slide, wow, it just lays it all out, doesn't it? It's like looking at two completely different worlds. On one side, you've got poor routines that means constant stress, cash flow problems, and those endless work hours. But on the other side, good routines become the engine for your success. We're talking less stress and growth you can actually count on. The difference is just night and day.
Okay, this brings us to a really crucial point. The state of your business, whether it's booming or just barely hanging on, it's not about how hard you work. Nope. It's a direct reflection of your routines. Everything you do, from sending invoices to marketing, runs on these systems. They literally create your reality.
So here's probably the most important thing to take away from all this. The problem is in you. It's not some personal failure. The real culprit behind all that stress and chaos is just the lack of simple, reliable routines you can count on. And the best part, that's something you can absolutely fix.
All right, so how do we fix it? This is where the 12 Faces system introduces a really cool idea called the game plan funnel. The best way to think about it is like a filter for all the noise. That endless to-do list? This funnel helps you sift through all of it and focus only on the things that are actually going to get you the biggest results. And it works in 3 pretty simple steps. First, you define your destination. Seriously, where do you want this business to be in 3 years? Get specific. Second, you prioritize. You take that giant universe of things you could do and you shrink it down to the vital few things you should do. And finally, you execute. You put all your energy into getting those big, important things across the finish line. And here's the real magic. This isn't a one-and-done deal. The power is in doing it over and over. You rinse and repeat this process every single quarter. When you do that, you're not just checking off tasks. You're building incredible momentum. Each cycle builds on the last, and suddenly, growth isn't just a happy accident, it's something you can predict.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. That all sounds great in theory, but where do I even begin? Well, the beauty of this system is that it's not some huge, scary project. You can start taking small, clear, actionable steps, like right now. Let's look at how that works. And get this, the barrier to entry is basically zero. You can learn the core ideas, the absolute fundamentals of this whole system in less than 30 minutes. It's designed for you to take immediate action, not to get bogged down in months of planning.
So here's the roadmap. You start really small, with short 1 or 2 week sprints just to practice focusing your effort. Then you start improving your existing routines to cut down on that repetitive stress. From there, you scale up to a full 90-day game plan for your bigger projects. And eventually, you can even speed the whole thing up by using pre-made plans and routines.
Now, once you get the hang of those first steps, the system gives you a path for long-term growth, not just for your business, but for you as a leader. It totally reframes managing a business. It's not a chaotic mess anymore. It becomes a skill you can practice, develop, and actually master. This is about building a career, not just surviving the next quarter.
And they do this with something they call the belt method, which is honestly a brilliant idea. Think of it like martial arts for entrepreneurs. You move at your own pace, mastering one set of skills at a time, starting with the basics, your white belt, and working all the way up to a black belt in small business management. It's all about continuous improvement.
So where does that name 12 Faces come from? Well, this chart explains it perfectly. The system is built on creating a balance across 12 critical skills. As you can see, half of them are about the business itself, the nuts and bolts. But the other half are all about you, the owner. Because real lasting success, it only happens when you master both sides of that coin.
And we're talking about the whole shebang here. It's not just the hard skills, like making money and running operations. It's also about those crucial leadership skills, like making good decisions, managing yourself, and leading your people. I mean, think about it.
You could have the most efficient business in the world, but if you can't manage your own energy and burn out, the whole thing comes crashing down. It's this holistic approach that builds a strong business and a strong leader.
So it really all boils down to this. You can trade that daily chaos for a clear, focused plan. The tools are right there to help you go from being a firefighter, just reacting to emergencies, to being an architect, intentionally building the future you actually want. The only question left is, are you ready to pick up the tools and start building?